know that kids are getting a really crappy education right now.
So you think that most of the kids here are getting a crappy education right now?
Oh, I don't think they are. I know they are.
Either the kids are getting stupider every year, or something is wrong in the education system.
It's the new movie designed to show us why America's education system is failing our children. But the film's solution to the problem could be controversial.
The movie is titled Waiting for Superman. It doesn't open until this Friday, but a select group of Metro Detroiters got a chance to see it first tonight at our invitation.
Fox News' Andre Isom has reaction from parents, students, teachers, and the people in charge.
I have to be honest with you. What I saw on that movie screen made me cry. It literally blew me away. It was heartbreaking. But the question is, are we all going to be able to come together to do what we can to fix this? If you care about kids, if you care about this country, you need to see this movie. It opens on Friday. We talked with parents, we talked to educators and students. You're not the only ones who've seen it so far.
The movie was very compelling in that it really should challenge all of us to put aside our adult issues and really deal with what's good for children.
Waiting for Superman is really such a brilliant title because Superman or a magic genie is not going to arrive. It is going to take all of us, and that's the whole point.
What I didn't like about the movie is those schools where there's this tremendous lottery for children to enter.
Every child deserves to go to a great school. I would want for every single child in Michigan to have the same opportunities that my kids have had.
Everyone has a stake in public education, and therefore everyone should find some way in which they can contribute.
Or nothing will change. So Tuesday night, Fox 2 invited about 50 people to share in this experience, Metro Detroit educators and dozens of parents.
I thought it was very thought-provoking, and it causes me to think that when I go into the classroom, I'm the Superman. I'm going to do my very best to give it all that I can give.
Every moment in a child's education is a teachable moment, so it really kind of inspired me. I'm thinking like, even from 8:50 to 8:55 tomorrow morning when the kids are walking in, that, you know, teachers can do something at all times of the day to really make a positive impact on their kids.
Charter schools, it got enough people, but public school is crowded and it got a lot of people.
Which one do you like better?
Charter schools.
They're supposed to go to school and not have to worry about their children's educational opportunities, and instead there's a 7th grader telling us that he's worried about his kids going to the school he went to, which is very sobering and sad.
It's heartbreaking to see a problem and know we can fix it and we're not fixing it. There have been many attempts to find some way to start the right conversation about education, so I hope this film will be a catalyst for that.
In a word, after what we saw today is wow. I think we'd all agree. Joining me right now to talk more about this issue is Mr. John Duffy, and you are with MEA Local 1.
That's correct.
Representing the teachers' unions?
Right, 16 districts in Macomb County and Wayne County as well.
Wonderful. And to your left is Mr. Dan Quisenberry. And Dan, tell us who you're with.
I'm with the Michigan Association of Public School Academies. We represent the 245 charter public schools in Michigan.
Guys, I'm so overwhelmed. It was so emotional. But so necessary, so very necessary. What I saw, I guess, that I can't get over is I see these kids who need us, who need adults to take back our roles and take care of them so they don't have to worry about their education. And lotteries, guys, lotteries, leaving their education to chance. I can't believe it's happening here and everywhere else across the country. John, talk about that.
As he explained in there, $33,000 for incarceration in the state of Michigan, $7,300 for education. And so funding is a huge issue for both of us, charter schools as well as the unions. I represent 5,500 teachers. Over 90% of the kids in America go to public schools. This film focused primarily on very low achieving districts throughout the country and did not represent the majority of all the schools in America. However, very powerful because ultimately it's about the kids and making sure they get the finest education possible.
Dan?
Absolutely. It's a movie everyone should come and see to understand what the crisis is, because I agree, we've got some great schools, but we do a disservice to at least a third of the kids in our country, even from the best schools, and we've got to understand what that is and do something about it.
All right, did you feel beat up on in there? I mean, with the unions and then everybody's praising charter schools, did you feel beat up on?
They weren't always praising charter schools. As one of the scenes said, only 1 out of 5 of the charter schools is a high-performing school. So that means 80% are not.
But when people are, go ahead.
And I will tell you, he did do a documentary in 1999 where he focused on the public schools in the lowest performing school districts, and these public school unionized teachers were some of the finest teachers that he'd ever met, and he talked about that as well. But yes, the primary focus was on a very specific, very narrow area on the highest performing charter schools.
Well, let me talk to you about this. I just talked with a sixth grader who's in public school, but also went to charter schools, just right out there. Yeah. She says she's received a better education than charter schools, and because it was a better environment for learning, less crowded classrooms. She just felt like that was where she got the best education. You guys talk both about that. Dan, you go first.
We have got to do something about worrying less about creating harmony with adults and doing something about the kids first and foremost. It's about creating great schools. We do believe that charters create that opportunity, but there are great traditional publics, there are great private schools. We've just got to have more of them and not allow children to be dependent on a lottery.
That's true. For public schools, we are performing a service as we have for over 200 years. And charter schools, this is a free country, and they have a role, but the primary focus for public schools and for us as a union is making sure that we are giving the best product to all of our kids and making sure that they get the finest education possible. You saw a little bit of that as well.
But something's wrong, because not every kid is getting the right kind of education that they deserve. How do we fix that and not just talk about it, not lip service? How do we change things, work together with the union and charter schools, how we can all have every kid on an even playing field? Because I think that's what we all want. How do we do that?
Well, you'd have to give me a lot more time than 4 minutes. There are many, many factors, both. Yeah, I mean, there really are. Many of the factors are the environment the kids are growing up in, where are the priorities for funding for all schools, where are the priorities for not every kid or not every parent in that film was sending their kids to the charter schools. As they showed, some of the schools had 155 applicants. There were 10,000 families in that neighborhood. 155 are trying to get into that school. The primary focus, though, has to be on making sure that our schools are properly funded and that all of us working together, and we are doing the best that we can for the kids and making sure the kids get the best.
10 seconds. What can we change? What can we do tomorrow to make a difference?
It's hard work, and we got to be more comfortable with data. We got to be more comfortable with doing whatever it needs to be taking place to take care of kids, whether it's health care or whatever, to get them ready to learn and successful for college.
Thank you, gentlemen, for coming. Thank you for sharing. The movie is worth seeing. I think you both agree. It's dynamic, and it is. It's something we need to continue to talk about. The real work needs to start tomorrow. We need to figure out how do we make a difference, and I think we're starting here today.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys.
And thank you, Andrea. Now, money helps, but money alone won't solve the problems. What are your thoughts for improving schools in Metro Detroit?
We'd like for you to share your ideas with us. Head over to myfoxdetroit.com and sound off.